It's been a day, man. It's been a day. You know, still a little bit, upset. Bro, I can't be asked with some of these TikTok edits, man. They're so like, it just gets you in the mood, man. It gets you in the mood. But yeah, man. I want to talk about my biggest takeaways from the card. I'm not going to talk about every fight. You know what I'm saying? It's not a recap video. Just my biggest takeaways because I feel like there's some significant things that happen that I noticed, and I feel like I have to address. And I gotta say the truth, bro. Listen, the thing about me, I'm a truthful UFC fan, brother. So I gotta keep it real, man. I gotta keep it real when it comes to content. And yeah. Without further ado, man, I'm gonna try to not be gloom and doom this video, man. You know what I'm saying? I don't want, my energy to carry over to my other videos, how I'm feeling. So let me try to keep it, even though I'm painful, so I'm smiling through the pain, trust me, because wow. Anyways, biggest takeaways from Adesanya versus Imavov fight night. Let's start off with the man, which were like this whole card was kind of written through Israel Adesanya. I said Adesanya is losing the respect edge. Now, people are going to be confused on what does respect edge mean. I feel like when Adesanya was champion, there come times in fights where the contenders will like kind of go in there and then they'll eat some leg kicks and they'll freeze because they're like scared, almost like they're like nervous of like what's going to come back to them, because Adesanya has great counter strikes, like he showed in the Robert Whittaker fight. Robert Whittaker won specifically. I feel like the Robert Whittaker won fight, like it's I don't want to say scared a lot of people, but it made a lot of people aware of how good of a counter striker Adesanya is. He's shown a lot of great counter strikes, like Derek Brunson before that, etc., etc. But you know what I'm saying? I think Kelvin Gastelum came in there and was like, yo, I could go in there and I could just go in on Izzy and I could beat him up. Then Izzy made the adjustment after that. It's like, okay, let me work on my counter punches. So he did that and he kind of smoked Whittaker. And then you see stuff like Cannonier. He kind of went in there, froze up. Yo Romero went in there and froze up. Some people just, Costa kind of froze up too. Like Costa was known for being a marauder. I just thought that took away his front like he froze up. And I kind of tie it into a respect kind of thing, because I feel like they respected like his skills too much to a point where they can't really get their offense going. I actually think that Sean Strickland broke that respect edge. That's what I'm calling a respect edge. I don't know why, but I think Sean Strickland was the one who kind of went in there and was like, I'm gonna fight like Sean Strickland. Like Sean Strickland could have easily pulled the Costa with like where like we know Costa always comes forward and always brings a fight. We know Sean Strickland always comes forward. Does he bring a fight? Nah, he brings a cheap jab war, but he always comes forward. Like. And Izzy was throwing his low kicks, but Sean was like, nah, let me just keep checking him. I'll come forward. And then Sean kind of like broke that like respect edge, away from Izzy. Then the next fight, Izzy goes against DDP, right? And DDP, like, fights like DDP. DDP could have easily just stood there and took leg kicks. Like, nah, I'm going to keep fighting like DDP. It sounds stupid, I know, but like, I feel like when you have the belt and people see what your body of work, they kind of have that edge for you. So yeah, DDP just came there, brought the fight. Was he losing before? In my opinion, yes, but then he got the finish. Same with Imavov, bro. He was getting pieced up in the first round, getting his leg destroyed. Going into the second round, started the second round, Izzy looked great, was getting his leg destroyed. And then, Imavov's like, fuck it, I'm gonna keep just being Imavov. I don't got the gas tank for these 5 rounds. I know Izzy does. And then he went in there and he was aggressive. I kept saying in my prediction video, Izzy just got to weather the storm in the first 2 rounds. I knew Imavov's hand speed advantage was significant. I was really banking on Izzy surviving. But Izzy looked great before that. So this also ties into people starting to figure him out. Izzy's like, he has good boxing. We know he has good boxing, but he always gets caught with his hands down because his hands are usually low. That's how he always fights. His hands are low, but what he does to prevent getting hit usually is he has a lot of good head movement. You've seen in the Whittaker 1 fight, you've seen it in a lot of his fights. He's always using his head movement to kind of slip away. And even if you do hit him, you never hit him flush because he always rolls with the punches. Even against DDP, people said his reaction time was slower. It might have been a little slower because of wrestling or whatever, but he was rolling with every DDP punch. Like, DDP would come in with that stupid clubbing 1-2, but then Izzy would, like, kind of lean back. He'll get hit, and he'll bounce his head back, but he's already leaning back, so, like, it kind of softens the blow. You know what I'm saying? And Izzy always does this thing when he hand fights. When you get too close, he starts to hand fight you a little bit. Like, grab your hands and then, like, try to move out the way like that. He'll grab your hands and try to move, And against the Imavov fight, I was watching something. Like, the whole fight, man, Imavov read that. Like, he read when Izzy was going to do this. So, like, the first uppercut Imavov landed, Izzy was trying to hand fight with him. He was trying to hand fight with him, and then Imavov kind of just, like, faked like he was going to go low, then he went to uppercut. Like, he's seen the hand fighting, and then he slipped out of it. You know what I'm saying? And landed a clean uppercut. Same with the finish. On like, you know, the way Izzy tried to like kind of hand fight. Izzy didn't use head movement during the finish. He just tried to hand fight him, but they like Imavov did a good job like getting his hand out the way, ducking down and hitting him with a 1-2 like overhand that lands flush on his jaw. So people I'll give credit to Imavov. He figured out Izzy. That was like really Imavov like doing his homework. He saw that coming. He did that. So good on Imavov, man. And then lastly, I said he's still world class, just got unlucky. Now it pisses me off, bro. I swear, Izzy's like I swear, like this. We live in the Matrix, man. Like Izzy gets eye poked, you know. He knows he gets eye poked, you know. But he's like even holding his eye. You can tell he got eye poked. It was averting his vision. He held his eye. He's like, no, it's okay, you know. And then people are saying Pereira maxing, bro. It's so weird. I swear, this is why I feel like we live in the Matrix. Because I feel like every single time. Dude, those shorts are cursed, first of all. Every time Izzy wears those shorts, something weird happens. Like, people, he was putting on the ground like Max Holloway in the DDP fight because he slipped and he put on the ground and slipped there. You know? And then that happens. Oh, they're not Max Holloway. And then, like, this shit happens. Like, he gets poked in the eye. It's like, oh, I'm good. Then gets knocked out, like, 5 seconds later. I swear, like, people... It's like sometimes the world wants people to... I feel like the universe wants Izzy to get made fun of. It's weird, you know? Like, I know it sounds crazy. I just think it's so weird how, like, situations like that happen and people just milk it into, like, weird scenarios. But... yeah, man, like, I still think he's world class. I think, like, he got eye poked. He should have probably took time. But right when he got eye poked, what he did was switch stances. And right as he was switching stances, he put his, I think he went to orthodox. And the eye that he just got poked in, that means that's his jab hand forward. And then Imavov sees that. He goes for the 1-2 and lands right on the same exact eye that he poked. Like, it's the same exact side of the face. And then lands flush. And then, like, it's unlucky. I'm not saying it was a lucky punch. I'm saying it's unlucky for Izzy. That makes sense. So it's not that it was lucky or a knockout for Imavov. It was just an unlucky situation for Izzy to be in, getting eye poked right before that finish, you know. And then the DDB fight, like the way you pointed out, it's just, dude, like, I still think Izzy's good. And this is not even me coping when I say if Izzy and Imavov fight like 10 times, I think Izzy wins 9. I think Izzy's like better than him. Like, watching that fight, if you watch that fight back, I don't think you could say Imavov was so much better. Like, you just can't say it. Did he get knocked out? Yes, you know, that happens, you know. But I honestly think Izzy was better in the grappling. You know, Imavov thought you could wrestle with him, but Izzy was reversing him. I was like, bro, honestly, bro, after the first round, I was brewing with confidence. I was like, bro, I know, like I said to my chat, Izzy just has one more round to survive, bro. Because after this, Imavov's gonna start fatiguing. And after the first round, Imavov, they look tired, man. It's crazy. Yo, this is crazy to me. It's like he's still world class. He's not like, I don't want to say he's washed. Like, maybe his reaction time's a little bit slower, but I don't want to say he's washed. I can't, because it wouldn't make sense. Well, if he was washed, maybe this is him washed. Maybe he's washed, but he's still like good enough to like kind of put the beats on people until he gets caught. It's just unfortunate, man. So yeah, overall, I just thought he's kind of losing that respect edge, but it's frustrating, man, to see as a fan, dude. I'm telling you, this one actually stings, man. It stings, bro. But Adesanya, great fighter, dude. It's just that, like, people are starting, like, I do think his flaws are starting to get exposed a little bit more as time goes along, but that's kind of due to Izzy, maybe his reaction time going a little bit slower stuff. But, you know, it is what it is, man. He's still a great fighter. I do think he's going to keep fighting, you know. I just don't know who he's going to fight next, but man, I'm not used to this, chat. I'm not used to this. Honestly, I'm like, I don't want, this is going to sound stupid now. I actually don't want Pereira to lose. Like, I must say that like that. I don't want Pereira to lose, because I swear the fans, the way they're gonna feel. And I like Pereira too. So deep down, it's gonna hurt me seeing an end of an era. But I do think Pereira does lose. But I'm starting to like reflect. And I'm like, yo, I actually don't want this to happen to some of these other guys. You know, I kind of want to enjoy their reign. But you know, time catches up to everyone sometimes. You know, so Izzy had his reign. You know, but whatever. Moral of the story, dude, I'm getting off track, is Adesanya is losing that respect edge. All right, next up, I want to talk about Imavov. I think Imavov's future champion caliber. If you guys watched my live stream for the Cannonier and the Imavov thing, I was very pro Imavov winning that. After the Brendan Allen fight too, I was very pro Imavov. I have said in my past that Imavov is a future champion. I did have to kind of go against my dog here, you know, because he's going against Izzy. Like, I'm not gonna compete. Like, come on, bro, you're not gonna compete with my favorite fighter. You know, I love Izzy, brother. Real bad, man. You get me, bro. But yeah, this one was interesting. But I do think he's a future champion caliber. I said caliber. I don't want to say guaranteed future champion, because, of course, Hamza in the division. You know, Hamza's just tricky. Dude's like, this guy's like 28, though. Imavov's 28, chat. That's why I've been, like, really high on him. I was making threads on Twitter saying the best dark horses in the division. He was on the list. I put top 5. He was number 2. Like, I've always been pro Imavov. You know, I knew he was good. The only, like, scary thing about Imavov, because I think he's well-rounded with impressive boxing. Now he's shown the knockout power, and he's still young. I always just thought his endurance was a little bit questionable to me, and thank God we didn't need to really check his endurance. Like, he looked tired after the first round against Izzy, but he was still doing that boxing, It's just, I feel like he just needs to work on cardio and he's going to be really good. But I do think he's future champion caliber. I feel like people are sleeping on how good he is. I've been saying it for a while. I know it's going to seem like I'm just, you were just anti him. I wasn't that. It was anti Imavov. I'm pro Izzy, man. When I'm pro Izzy, I have to like kind of shit on this guy. I have to, bro. That's how I was with not Merab Umar. I was like that for a couple people though. Like, even if I like a fighter and I think a fighter's going to win, I'm gonna put a little bit more positivity on that fight. I think he's gonna win because it is what it is. It's the name of the content creation game in it. So, but I do think he's future champion caliber. I do want to see him fight for a title. I don't know. Like, I don't know his next fight. Maybe they'll lose. I think after Strickland loses to DDP, or if Strickland loses to DDP, they're gonna fight again, and then Hamza's gonna fight DDP, or maybe do a title eliminator with Hamza versus Imavov. We'll see what happens there, but. Yeah, I just think he has future champion caliber. He's really skilled. I think he beats Berhalo. That's something people might not, think, but I think he does. So yeah, I think Imavov is a really good guy. 28 future. I like him too. I like that the competitive edge he has. He's respectful, but don't get me wrong. But you can tell he's a real bad man. The way he be going about stuff, facing off of people. I like this guy. I like his energy too. I actually would want him to talk a little bit more shit if he gets a chance to. I like the Buckley build up. But yeah, do think he's future champion caliber. Now let's talk about some prediction that I aced on the dot. Best strike in MMA history. I told you guys. Like, I didn't even get to celebrate how good of a prediction this was because Izzy lost. I was so down in the dumps because of that. But like, brother, let's talk now, brother. I'm a little bit more happy, little bit. I've told you guys, like, the odds made no sense. Like this, and I kept saying the whole time that I'm way more confident in the MVP versus Shara fight than the Izzy versus Imavov fight because I was just like, I know MVP's gonna win. Like, I think Izzy's going to win. I kept saying that. I even said it during my live stream right before the fight. I was like, because this fight was, on paper, this fight just made more sense to me. Like, I knew, like, the thing about this guy's style is, like, he's impossible to stand with. And I knew Shara wasn't going to, like, want to make the adjustments because he can't grapple. Because he knows the better grapple between the two is MVP. Like, with the BJJ tournaments and everything. And he's just frustrating to deal with. His understanding of distance is so annoying because, like, he's nowhere in striking range. And then he's in striking range. And then he pushes off and he's out. Or he's in striking range, lands on you, then he goes for a trip. He tried, like, you could tell Shara was, like, very hip to his trips because every time MVP would hit him and clinch him, like, Shara and him would, like, be looking down at their feet. And then that's when MVP would adjust and then land an elbow and exit. Dude, Suga, I'm telling you, man. Like, if you can't wrestle, bro, forget it, bro. Like, when I say best striker in MMA history, everyone called me crazy. I said that right after the Kevin Holland fight. They said, you're crazy. They said Ian Gary's going to knock him out, Kenny. I said during the Ian Gary fight, Ian Gary had to wrestle. And people were like, no, he's not. Ian Gary's going to knock him out. Ian Gary wrestled and got the win. And then during the Shara fight, I was like, chat, I'm telling you, I made a whole video about this is not even close fight. Like, people kept saying, Kenny, if it goes a distance, it's going to be a robbery. I was like, no, if it goes a distance, it's going to be so clear-cut the MVP won that there's going to be no case for robbery. And that's exactly what happened, His style is very unique. I'm a fan of it. I know some people hate it, but I'm a fan of it. And he was kind of showboating on Shara, man. I'm not surprised, man. I have to say I told you so here because this is actually one of my better predictions. Like, it's slept on. It's kind of overshadowed because Izzy lost, but real ones who've been following me, they know how hard I was going for MVP to beat Shara here. Like, I was really, and you guys know I love Shara too, but I was really fond about, like, I really wanted people to understand that MVP's really him. But people didn't really want to believe me, but now they're gonna believe me, brother. Now they believe me, brother. So it's okay now. So I think best striker in MMA history. And you can keep arguing with me, but I'm gonna keep proving you wrong. We're gonna keep proving you wrong. Shout out MVP. All right, though. Next up, let's talk about Shara. I said Shara could be a fraud because I could see his career going a downward pattern because he did think he was the best striker in the MMA, like UFC, but he wasn't. And I knew he wasn't, but he thought he was. Now he just got outstruck the whole round. So I think he needs to learn how to adjust. Like, when he was getting outstruck by MVP, he probably should have clinched him against the fence or just changed something up because he was so okay with just kind of like playing that game with MVP. You're not gonna play that game with I don't care how old he is. He's fast. I told everyone he has a speed advantage. People think, oh, he's old, Kenny. I think he's gonna be slower. He's up a weight class, Kenny. I think he's gonna be slower. The only thing that upped the weight class affected with MVP was his endurance. Because for like one of the first times I seen MVP kind of look a little tired in the third, and Shara was almost. I was like, what? MVP tired? I don't really see that often. So do think that might have affected him negatively. But, you know, I just think Shara needs to learn how to adjust clinch if he's getting outboxed. And he should use his boxing more. When he did have a little bit of success in the third round, when MVP was kind of fading, it was through, like, boxing. It wasn't through kicks. His kicking game is not going to work against a karate guy. Like, what? Why did people think Shara was going to win? The odds, I was so surprised. I'm telling you, I was so surprised. But, yeah, he should use his boxing more because his boxing good. And then drill wrestling. And not just because, I'm not saying offensive wrestling. I'm telling you, your next fight, like, people, like, this is not a fraud check to me. People are online were saying fraud check. Like I said, this is not surprise. How does no one see this? Like, I can't believe no one saw Shara losing. It made no sense to me. This is not a fraud check. MVP is just the best striker in UFC history, you know, or MMA history. Not even UFC, every promotion history. You get me? So, you know, his fraud check's going to come with probably like a kind of a no-name guy who can wrestle, you know, because I feel like his wrestling is a little lackluster. So that's what he has to work on too, because, you know, you just got outstruck. Now you just got to work on your whole MMA game. I feel like he's going to, like, mentally, he's going to be a little bit defeated because he thought he was, like, really good at one aspect, but the aspect that you're best at, you know someone in the UFC is better, so it's probably going to ruin his career. I still think he could outstrike. If anyone else is a primary striker, he could probably beat them. MVP is just different, you know, so this is what I think, brother. So I'm saying he could be a fraud. I'm not going to say he's a fraud because I don't think this is a fraud check, but he could be in the future if he goes against, like, an unranked wrestler and they just wrestle fuck him. This is my opinion. All right. I want to talk about Sergey a little bit because he showed improvement, but we don't care. That's my takeaway. He was well-rounded. He showed he could wrestle too. He showed he could mix up stuff. You know, he beat him decisively. He beat Rosenstrike decisively. But he did lack killer instinct. When I'm saying this is like old Sergey, when he had someone hurt or wobbled, he chased the shit out of that finish. I think the Aspinall fight took that away from him a little bit, and then the Volkov fight afterwards just made it worse to make him not want to finish it because he doesn't want to get hit too much. But, like, he would have Rosenstrike hurt, but then he wouldn't, like, really jump on it. Like, you would have him hurt, and then you're like, and then kind of chill, and then, like, I'm like, what the? And then you have him hurt, then wrestle him. I'm like, bro, what? But, hey, listen, he showed improvement, so I can't say, oh, he sucks, dude. He showed improvement. It's just that, like, I feel like we don't care about the improvement because we're selfish, bro. We just want to see heavyweight slang and bang then, you know what I'm saying? So, I think he's good. I think he's, maybe he's not, like, championship caliber like we all thought he was before the Aspinall fight, but he's good, dude. He's just that he needs to just amplify the killer instincts and, you know, keep the diversity in there. I actually like the fact that he's wrestling. He has a Sambo background. This is the first time I've even seen him use any kind of grappling in his career. So maybe actually use that Sambo background more. You look good against Biggie Boy, you know. So, yeah, I think he improved, but we don't care. That's my best takeaway from Sergey. And then last but not least, I'm going to talk about Saeed, and I'm going to get mad off because Saeed amplified the Dagestani striker problems. So there's not, like, Dagestani style, people think is wrestling, grappling. It's not true. There's Dagestani style that is just kick-oriented before anything. You know, we see it with Shara. You know, you've seen it with Zabit Magomed Sharapov. We've seen it with Saeed. We've seen it with Usman. We've seen it with Umar Nurmagomedov. You know, we see it with all these, like, newer generation Dagestanis. But these kicks fatigue people quicker. Umar didn't necessarily fatigue against Merab, but he did look tired. The fourth round, he looked he was beating Merab in the fifth, though. The fourth round, he looked fifth round, he was beating him till the rock happened. But outside of Umar, like, most guys who kick crazy fatigue, like Usman throwing those kicks against Hughes fatigued. You know, Saeed was throwing these spinning kicks and all that, spinning back fists. It's so weird and they fatigued, you know. It's a problem, though. Like, I feel like they're extremely talented, but their cardio is needed because, like, you're really good for the first round, and if you don't get them out of there, then what? Like, Saeed has good grappling too. He has good BJJ, you know, and good rush striking, but all that talent goes to shit because your cardio isn't there, you know. So that just sucks, and I feel like him personally lacks heart. Not all Dagestanis lack heart, but I will say Saeed, he kind of lacked heart as his cardio, like, started to go down. Because Usman and Umar, like, they don't lack heart. Because when Usman was tired, he was still making shit happen. You know what I'm saying? He wasn't kind of just sitting there and just, like, desperate, like, you know what I'm saying? He was still making it happen. Same with Umar. He was tired against Merab, who has the best gas tank in UFC history, and he didn't lack heart. But Saeed, him personally, he lacks heart. So I think change is needed from, like, the Dagestani strikers in general. Like, something needs to change with these guys. Like, they need to either, like, figure out, I don't know, better wrestling, or, like, less of, like, these, like, spinning attacks and, like, more just traditional kickboxing. You know, it looks good at first, like, when doing the question mark kicks, the push kicks, spin kicks, like, they're landing, they're beating them up. But you can't, or, like, learn how to keep it for 2 rounds, dude. Not 1 round, man. You can't just do that for 5 minutes and get tired, dude. You gotta, you know, get, like, 9-minute cardio in you, and then maybe you win more fights and then lose the 3rd round. That's what Zabit Magomed Sharapov did. Like, he could do it for, like, 10 minutes, maybe 12, and then the 3rd round towards the end he starts to fatigue. But, you know, he could get away with that because his endurance was good enough. You know, these new age guys, brother, we have to check this moment. But this is overall the biggest takeaways I have from that fight night. Let me know what you guys think down below. I think for the most part, these takeaways should be familiar to you guys. You guys probably should accept it as true. But let me know what you think down below. That's it for me, and God bless. 2, 3.